in. Time to hang out with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Coop, with Mr. Coop, with Mr. Coop, the ladies Coop. From Mr. Coop, from Mr. Coop, from Mr. Hang out Mr. Coop. With Mr. Coop, with Mr. Coop, with Mr. Coop, the ladies Coop. From Mr. Coop, from the yeah.
Welcome to the Big Scoop with Coop. I'm your host, Coop. Season 4 is still going strong, guys. It's coming to an end soon, probably about 2 or 3 more episodes, and that will be the end of Season 4. But don't fret, Season 5 will be coming real soon, guys. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I have a guest that is doing big things. I mean, really big things as far as it goes for the television industry and the movie industry. But we're going to talk about what he's got going on in a second. First, just to let you know, make sure you go to the website, www.thebigscoopwithcoop.com, where you can actually catch episodes from Season 1 all the way up to now. Also, make sure you can catch me live on Blog Talk Radio /The Big Scoop with Coop. Make sure you tell all your family, your friends, your associates, your haters, it doesn't matter. Tell them all to tune in. You can find me also on Twitter at MCOOP317, Instagram the same thing. And we are also live right now on Facebook. What's going on, Facebook, family and friends? Tell them to go to facebook.com /The Big Scoop with Coop. Also YouTube. We're live streaming on YouTube worldwide. But enough about me. Once again, my guest today, he is actually on A&E The Killing Season. He is actually doing big things on that show. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Josh Zeman. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, sir. How are you?
Hey, doing great. And yourself?
Not bad. Excited to speak to you today.
All right. How's your day so far?
Been pretty good. Just doing a lot of, we just had our Hamptons premiere of Killing Season, which is going to come out on November 5th. So we were at the Hamptons this weekend, had a big article come out in Newsday about the case, and looking forward to doing a lot of press and publicity for it.
Nice. Very nice. Also, Josh, before we even start the show, I do got to give a big shout out to my city and state. Of course, you know about Hurricane Matthew. It hit North Carolina, it hit my city, also surrounding cities. So everyone that's out there, make sure you stay safe and be safe. If you need to go to a shelter, find one. Food, anything, do what you have to do to survive out there. I'll be praying for all of you. All right. Now, Josh, on this show, we always talk about how you started in your career, your success, give advice on how to get into your career, and much more. So, Josh, when did you first realize that you wanted to become a filmmaker?
That's a good question. I got pretty early on. I was lucky in that I kind of figured out what I wanted to do. And, I ended up kind of jumping in the business pretty early. All those internships we hear about. I went and picked up like one of those varieties, and because in the back of Variety, basically, they tell you everything that's shooting. And so I picked up one of those. I drove out to Los Angeles, and I would just knock on doors of production companies and say, I'm here.
Oh, wow.
Let's get started.
Hey, why not? That's the best way to do it anyway. You knock on doors, you can make yourself known and make yourself sing. So that's a good thing. Congratulations on that. And I'm glad that you didn't give up on that neither. Because you see where it took you today.
Well, look, I don't think what a lot of people understand is that, people are busy, right? They're wicked busy. And so, especially like the film industry, it's like they just want like a warm body to like throw at a problem. So if you show up at the door and be like, I can do this, just give it to me, like they'll be like, what's your name? You? Hey, go do this.
Wow.
And so it's a lot of just like kind of being at the right place at the right time, but nobody's going to hand it to you. You got to go out there, you just got to ask.
That's true. That's very true. And also you do, and just to add on to what you just said, you do have to put your work in at the same time. So when you said you knock on that door, they're going to ask you, who are you? Go do this. And, I mean, you have to bring your A game every time. Everyone is listening worldwide right now. When you're trying to get into this business, bring your A game. Because if you don't, after that one chance and that one shot, you never know will you ever get another chance again. And Josh has proven that he actually has his skills on lock. He's doing his thing, and he's actually doing big things. So, Josh, once again, congratulations on what you've done, how you started, and where you're actually getting to already. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, after we heard about you knocking on doors and, you're putting your name out there, you're making yourself known, what type of hurdles and obstacles did you have to go through to get to the success that you actually have received today?
First of all, it never ends. It feels like, it's like, I'm the director. Why am I driving this car around, or why am I doing this? But, I think like that's a big myth a lot of people like to put out there, that suddenly, you're not, that once you've reached some kind of pinnacle, you're not going to have to keep doing the work. But you do. I mean, I find it never gets easier. And so, I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And then, I don't know, a lot of trying to, again, be in the right place at the right time, not coming out with it too early as well.
Right.
You gotta, that's a lot of people, I don't want to know about your film project that you have going on in the background until you've shown me that you know how to work on my film, and then when you've done that, when you've proven that you can do it and that, you're trustworthy and that you're smart, then I want to know about what you got going on, because then I want to help you.
Right.
So a lot of it was just continuing to work hard,
mm-hmm.
never giving up, and knowing when the right time is,
That's true. And Josh, I think a lot of people that's listening worldwide right now, they feel that, just because they can pick up an iPhone and hit the record button, they can handle a $20,000 piece of equipment as far as it goes for a camera at the same time. And I tell people before, it's good that you're using what you can to make movies. But at the same time, hitting the record button on a phone compared to hitting the record button on a $20,000 camera or more, or $120,000 piece of equipment is two different monsters. And, that's good that you can do one thing, but you're right. As a filmmaker, your name and reputation is on the line. So, you have to bring your A game to work for you at the same time. So I'm glad that you have that good eye out there. You're not letting just any Tom, Dick, and Harry just grab your equipment and start shooting and having your name in the credits. So, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. One of the great things about, the film industry is that, almost anybody can do anything these days.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a downside to it, too, which means that, there's a lot of crap out there. So you have to, really work and hone your craft, You've got to practice. You got to work with people on the weekends, on their shorts, they got to work with you. It's a whole, the other thing is, it's a lifestyle, that's the other thing you have to realize. You got to make a lot of sacrifices. I think, Lee Daniels actually said it, the guy who did Precious.
Right.
He was like, family, and this is rough, this is getting into some crazy territory. He's like, family, I don't care about family. I don't care about friends. I don't care about any of that. All I care about is making, telling the stories that I want to tell. And people were like, whoa, that's crazy to say you don't care about family. But I understand what he was saying. He was like, if your friends want to go out on a Friday night and you're at home, that's sorry, but that's just the situation, so you got to make a lot of sacrifices. It's not, unfortunately the media, they like to put out that it's just all like fun and games, but it's not, it's hard.
It's true. Very true. And I think a lot of people think that the television industry and the movie industry they think it's the typical 8 to 5 weekends off. And it really isn't, because and Josh, back me up on this, what I'm about to say. I guarantee you heard people on a Sunday say, hey, I got this great idea. and I can do this and I can do that for you. It never ends. It never ends for anyone that's in that industry, regardless if you're a filmmaker, producer. Yeah. So this is a 24/7 job, and I don't know when you actually get your sleep, Josh. I congratulate you on getting sleep on what you do also. So good job on that. Now,
I think we were talking the other day. Someone was like, someone was joking that we would take Columbus.
Wow.
It's like, what are you kidding me?
What's Columbus Day?
What is that? Exactly. What is that?
Exactly. Is that another name for Tuesday? I mean, yeah, you're right. You're definitely right on that. Now we heard about how you started and everything. Now I do want to talk about one movie that you actually touched and you did big things for. That's actually called The Station Agent. Now, can you tell everybody about that movie and the awards that actually won for this movie, so people can see how hard work actually pays off?
That was Tom McCarthy's first movie. Mm-hmm. It was a tiny low-budget film that we did like in the middle of New Jersey, and everybody just kind of came together and worked for like no money. I remember somebody told me, I was a sucker, they told me it was in August, and like, come out to New Jersey for a vacation.
Oh,
which
wow.
is a total lie. And I didn't really believe him, but like, you believe him, I was like, really? New Jersey in August for vacation? And, so this is a movie Tom McCarthy did. It starred Peter Dinklage, the guy on Game of Thrones.
Yes.
And Bobby Cannavale, who was on Vinyl, and Patricia Clarkson, and then the director, Tom McCarthy, who went on to do Spotlight, which just won Best Picture. So this was a while ago, 2006 maybe, and the film, we won Sundance, and I think he got a SAG award, a whole bunch of Spirit awards, and it was just a real pleasure to work on. Sometimes you work on a project with a group of people, and it all just comes together, And one of the reasons why it came together is because Tom did his homework. He knew Peter, he knew Bobby, and they rehearsed those parts for weeks and weeks and weeks beforehand. I mean, there wasn't any getting in front of a camera. It was just complete rehearsal. And so by the time they got in front of the camera, they knew exactly what they were doing, and it shows. The movie's hysterical.
That's true.
And it's just a real nice movie. And it also goes to prove that, like, movies don't need to be about, huge things. Right. I mean, this is about, literally, right? Because it's about Peter, who's a dwarf, and it's about friendship. And, who knew you could make a movie that was so emotional and satisfying and about friends, with just, at a little train station in New Jersey. And that movie, everybody continues to this day to talk about that movie and think of the careers that movie has launched.
Yes.
Peter Dinklage, Bobby Cannavale, those guys are huge.
Yeah.
So it was a real pleasure, and it was real nice to see how sometimes art, can kind of like, everything works, like the timing works, and that was it.
Now, do you still stay in contact with any of the people from the station agent?
I do. I see them all the time. People walking down the street, Josh, hey, what's going on? Actually, that's Bobby. Josh, hey, walking down the street. But I do. I see him all the time, and I called Tom and asked him a question about a screenplay that I had when he was writing Spotlight. So it's a small industry, a very small industry. Right. And that's something a lot of people also don't realize. You can't be talking a lot of BS about a lot of people because it's a small industry, and
it'll circle around.
But it's good. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. You're right. Now, Josh, people that's listening worldwide right now, I'm gonna give you another piece of proof how Josh starts, how he started, as you heard in the beginning, and how he worked. And what I'm about to talk about next with Josh, you'll see what I'm talking about as far as it goes for hard work pays off. Now, Josh, I want you to tell everybody how excited you were when you actually received the opportunity to work on that A&E television, A&E hit, The Killing Season. Tell everybody about it that's not familiar with it.
So I think we worked for about 2 months, kind of putting a trailer together, and we ended up hooking up with Alex Gibney, the guy who did Taxi to the Dark Side, the Scientology doc, and all these other great projects. And we ended up selling a show to A&E about this unsolved serial murders in Long Island. And what I could, kind of to your point, there is right above my desk, there is a sign, a framed picture that says, "Those who work hard get lucky." And we would talk about that, like, while we were doing it. And so it's true, it seems like it's getting lucky, but it's not. I was going to do that film as a narrative film, and it ended up being a TV series, and it took us 4 years.
Wow. Yeah. That's one thing I didn't know right there, Josh. I didn't know it took 4 years. So I just learned something new off of this one. Wow.
I had a previous film called Coop I that took 8 years.
Ooh. And
yeah, so it's a long time.
Now, at any point in time, did you ever feel like that you wanted to give up?
Every day. It was tough too. It was at least during the 8-year process. Like, I had done it was a horror documentary, and so, like, what's a horror documentary? What the hell does that mean? But it means, like, it's a documentary that, like, tries to tell a spooky story about real stuff.
Right.
And the thing is nobody knew what that was. You couldn't put it in a box. You couldn't classify it. And so I think a lot of people just they didn't know what it was when I was pitching it. And so, by the end of it, they were like, oh, Cropsy is one of the first horror documentaries out there. But when I was pitching it and when I was doing it, nobody knew what the hell I was talking about. And I definitely wanted to quit. But at some point it became, your white elephant, like if you don't finish it, you'll never be able to look at yourself in the mirror for the rest of your life.
I understand. It'll haunt you.
That was it totally, if I didn't finish that, I would not be able to look at myself,
Right.
And, that wasn't the first movie I had done as a director. The first one I had done as a director, that one, kind of didn't even come out really, but that was like film school. But like this one, it just took a hell of a long time.
I definitely get you. Now, how you were saying it took so long for the movies to come out, or the shows come out, and the movies to come out and everything. Now, I kind of want to sidetrack on this one for a second, because I'm just wondering, did this help you out any as far as it goes for social media? And if it did, how important is it to you for social media in the movie and television industry?
That's an excellent question. So a lot of people, and this is something I struggle with, right? You can either talk about making a movie or you can make a movie, okay? And social media is good as a way to connect with your audience and figure out what your audience is. But I find a lot of people spend a little bit too much time talking about what they want to do than actually doing it. And it's about ego. Because if I tell you about it, it seems a little bit more real, and you're like, oh, that sounds awesome. I love that. It's great, blah, blah, blah. And so your ego gets a little bit of boost. But the harder part is just going in and making it. So I just find too many people overuse social media rather than actually doing the work. The amount of time that you can spend per day doing that, is... you have to stop with the social media if you want to actually make the movie. Now, on the other side of the coin, in this day and age, social media is very important. People get reality shows based upon the amount of social media that they have. So we are a culture that rewards our influence, but you got to find a way to level it out, and you got to find the social media is good after you finish it. Not before you finish it, after you finish it.
I see where you're coming
Then you
from.
can talk all you want.
So basically, for you, social media will be best as far as it goes for the promotional side. After everything is actually said and done. Ladies and gentlemen, that's listening worldwide. Go ahead.
No, and to get a couple ideas when you're starting, but there's too many people who they don't ever start, they just talk.
Right. I get you. I definitely get you. Everybody that's listening worldwide right now on Blog Talk Radio, Facebook, YouTube, like Josh said, it's good for a promotional part as far as it goes for, promoting your product, getting it out there. But don't always 100%, 100% depend on social media to get you there. Now, that's true what Josh said. As far as it goes for a lot of reality shows are starting up on social media. There's the HBO special that came out, Insecure. Wait, it may not be Insecure. I apologize. But it's another one that came out that social media started up. But everyone would not always get that same lucky break as far as it goes for social media all the way up to fame. So put your work in, get it out there. Use social media, but don't 100% depend on social media. Now, on the same flip side, Josh, how can people find you on social media?
They can find me on Twitter, Josh Zeman, JoshZeman on Twitter, and they can find me on Facebook, and they can go to the Cropsey site, CROPSEY, and that's where you hear all about what we're doing with the Killing Season, our new show, and where are you guys located? Where are you located?
I'm in North Carolina.
North Carolina?
Yes.
Wow. I think you had some unsolved serial murders in North Carolina.
Oh, boy, don't tell me that. Please don't tell me that. I'll be wearing a rearview mirror in front of my face. Seriously. But no, seriously, though, and bring the show around here, seriously, because you never know what you will find regardless of what state you're in. There's always someone hiding. I'm not trying to scare anybody out there, but, the truth is the truth. So,
yep.
And talking about that, Josh, what is your personal opinion about, and I'm not sure if you heard about it, but, around North Carolina, South Carolina, and a few other states, these clown sightings. Have you heard about that?
So I did a documentary a couple of years ago called Killer Legends. You can see Killer Legends and you can see Cropsey on Hulu, Netflix, Amazon, everywhere, right?
Wow.
So I did this show called Killer Legends 2 years ago. Go check it out. It's on Hulu. And in it, you will see a whole section on phantom clown scares, which is exactly what's going on right now. And, it's been going on since the 1980s that this is happening. Now, this was before Stephen King did. This was before Poltergeist.
Really?
And it was before the internet. And it was crazy because you had sightings of clowns in the projects of Chicago. That's actually where we went. And then you had clown sightings in, Scotland. And the question was, how did these kind of clown sightings happen pre-internet? And nobody really quite understands. But what we do know is that these clown sightings they're probably not, before they didn't really happen, but now we've got people who are actually think it's funny and they actually are dressing up as clowns and going to freak people out. And on the show, we did that, and it was amazing to see some real hardcore ballers in Chicago, hardcore. When we drove up and down the street with a clown, they got freaked out. They're like, that's not funny. So clowns freak people out, no matter who you are, where you are, what nationality, race, creed, color, none of that matters.
Right.
Clowns freak you out. Now, the question is, why is it happening now? We've had clown scares in Staten Island, New York. We've had clown scares all over the place. A lot of people say these current clown scares started in North Carolina. Is that true? Right?
That's what they're saying.
That's what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So Why? And we got clown scares 2 years ago in Staten Island and a couple of years ago in England. But why is it? Why now? Like, is it just because it's close to Halloween? No. Is it just because of the internet? No, we had the internet before.
Yep.
Why is it happening now? I'm going to ask you that question.
And you know what? And I'm going to give you my honest answer. I
Please.
don't know. I really don't. Like, I don't. I've been trying to pinpoint that part. Why now?
I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'll tell you.
Listen.
So, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I'm just telling everybody, listen worldwide, because we about to get an answer to this.
Right. So again, it happened before when there was the internet. It happened in Halloween, and all this happened before. But for some reason, right now, it's gone like wildfire, and people have picked it up, and everybody's seeing it, and cops are freaking out, and everybody's freaking out. And I'll tell you, this may not be too popular with some people, but it's all about the Joker, Batman and the Joker, and it's all about the fact that the Joker basically is like the top of the killer clown, as we know it. He's the guy in our society who everybody fears, and it happened with Heath Ledger, and he's become like the most famous of the evil clowns. And if you watch the Batman movie, Heath Ledger, that Joker, was all about chaos, and it was all about upending society, and it was all about kind of freaking society out and pushing them and prodding them and getting them to turn on each other. And I think it's politics. I think that's what's happening now with politics. There's a lot of fear-mongering out there. There's a lot of people who are telling us that, immigrants are a problem. There's a lot of people who are telling us about the other, fear the other. And, you've got a presidential candidate who is saying, don't pay taxes and hang out with the Russians. Like, are you kidding me? Don't pay taxes and hang out with Russians. Like, nobody says that. You know what I'm saying? That's like some of the foundations of the United States here. So you've got a guy who's pressing a lot of buttons and he's like kind of fear-mongering, and I think that's why this fear of clowns has really taken off. It's about chaos, and it's about panic, and it's about scaring people.
Wow, I never thought of it from that perspective right there. I really didn't. And I'm not gonna go there with the politics part about how politics and clowns will put that together. But you said it real well, and I'm gonna leave it right there on that one. So I will leave those clowns alone.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm not saying one versus the other. I'm just saying why I have to remember that, like urban legends, like clowns, it's all about what the anxiety is of the country at the moment it becomes popular. Right. And our anxiety is definitely about what's going on politically. Now, interestingly enough, you guys in Halifax County, North Carolina, you do have a kind of semi-unsolved serial killer case, which is the Seven Bridges killer in Edgecombe County. Are you familiar with that case?
Yes, I am. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and that is very much like the show that I'm doing, that looks at the Long Island serial killer case in Long Island. There we had 10 sex workers whose bodies were found along a desolate highway. A lot of them marginalized women, a lot of drugs, and all that stuff. And looking at that case, we found a whole bunch of unsolved serial cases of sex workers around the country. One of the cases that we looked at, that we were actually going to talk about, was the Seven Bridges killer, because, it's very similar. You had sex workers, you had a lot of drugs, same thing, and that's what's happening is these killers in this day and age, they're not going after, moms and soccer moms and stuff like that. They're going after sex workers whose jobs it is to stay underneath the radar and who are trying to kind of feed a habit. And so they become the perfect victim. And as a result, and unfortunately, those people are very much under the radar of the local police. And so as a result, it's about broken systems, folks. That's how it happens. And so very kind of similar in what's going on to what you guys were experiencing a couple of years ago.
Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, just be careful out there. At the same time, make sure you do go check out A&E's Hit the Killing Season. Like I said, Josh is doing big things, guys. But at the same time, be safe and leave this to the professionals. That just because you hear Josh giving this information out that's true, that don't mean go out there and try to look for serial killers. Leave it to the people that know what they're doing.
No.
So make sure you do that, guys.
Well, we're talking about what I think we're talking about is awareness.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And realizing that it's called situational awareness. And also realizing that another trend we're seeing is a lot of people are using Backpage and Craigslist.
Yep.
And especially when it comes to sex, and you might think because you're on Backpage, because you're just going into the Holiday Inn up the street, somehow it's safer. But talking to a lot of the girls out there, what we're finding out is that the internet, in this crazy way, makes things more anonymous. And, it used to be that you go look at a car and you could see who you were dealing with, feel them out,
right.
Is this guy crazy or not? And that's not how it is anymore. Now, when you make a deal, on the phone via Craigslist, like, the deed is done. Like, when you knock on the door and you open up that hotel room, there's no turning back. It's like you're already in the car. You know what I'm saying? So be careful out there.
Yeah, you're right about that. Everybody, make sure you do take that advice. Be careful, be careful, be careful. I can't stress that enough also. So make sure you do be careful. Now, Josh, are there any future projects that you're working on that you're allowed to speak about right now?
So we're hoping we're going to get a second season of the Killing Season.
Yeah.
And we're hoping that. And then what's the next thing? Well, I am working on a documentary about a whale, if you can believe it or not. It's about a whale that calls out a frequency that no other whale can theoretically hear. And so they call this whale the loneliest whale in the world, and we've been going out on these expeditions to try and go find this whale.
Okay. Nice. When is have you started on that already, or are you almost close to the end, or?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I've been doing that one for about 5 years, and that's taken a heck of a long time, and hopefully we're going to be done with that one pretty soon, and that'll be coming out soon.
Okay. All right. Congratulations on that. Now, Josh, what is
Thanks, sir.
Oh, yes, sir. Now, what is your ultimate goal as a filmmaker?
Well, that's a good question. Look, we all have a responsibility, as we've all been given this great gift, right?
Right.
To be able to make a movie, sing a song, write something, do anything. And with that gift, if you have a gift where people will listen to what you have to say, then you owe it to everybody to say the right thing. You owe it to everybody to educate and to spark change, because, the system isn't going to do it for you. That's what you have to do as an artist, or even, it doesn't matter who you are. So for me, it's an act of social change. It's educating people, not in a way that feels preachy, just in a way that says, hey, I want to tell you about something. I want to tell you that, it's dangerous out there. Or I want to tell you, that people aren't paying attention to the right things. Or I want to tell you that, we need to pay more attention to our oceans or the sex workers, or it doesn't matter, But the point being is you can't take that power for granted. And that's what upsets me a lot. Like, it upsets me that people aren't out there trying to help each other. That's the golden rule. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about how much money you have. It's not about any of that other stuff. It's about how can you help your fellow human being, and how can you educate them.
Hey, and that's true.
And that's what you're doing. Like, what you're doing is great. You're telling people, I'm going to give you the truth. I'm going to tell you how it is. I'm going to bring people on the show. I'm going to do all this stuff. And you remember, this is what you need to do. Like, everybody needs to do that.
Right.
That's what everybody should be doing.
You're right, and thank you for that. You're right, Josh. Thank you. And I mean, like I said before, you're doing big things, and people are hearing about you. Your fans that are listening now, and the people that's getting introduced to you for the first time are learning about you. So trust me, everybody. Once again, make sure you go find Josh on social media. Look at his past work. Make sure you go and get, as far as it goes for A&E killing season, make sure you check all of this out. This is something that you do not want to miss, because once again, Josh is doing big things, and you want to continue for everything that he's doing. Make sure you follow him all the
Absolutely.
time
And
you can.
check out Killer Legends on Netflix or Hulu. Check out Cropsey, Cropsey, on Netflix and Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
And then on November 5th, check out The Killing Season on A&E.
Nice. Everybody, make sure you do go check all of this out, because like I said, this is someone that you want to make sure that you do stay in connection with, because once again, Josh is doing big things, and his career is nowhere close to being over. So make sure you do it. So, Josh,
thank you very much.
Yes, sir. One last thing. I know you're a busy man, so I'm not going to keep you. I'm not going to hold you up much longer.
Sure.
But what advice would you give any male or female that wants to become a filmmaker in the industry?
Write about what you know, or make something about what you know. Like, that's like the first piece of advice that everybody says. Like, write about what you know. Write about the town you live in. Write about your family. Write about what you can speak truthfully about. And because when you start out truthfully, people know that. Audiences know that. Audiences can see truth really easily. And so it's important to be real, and it's important to be truthful and tell your own stories, not other people.
So true. So true. Everyone, I just want to say thank you, Josh, for, taking your precious time for coming on the show and using your valuable time for actually, educating the world for everything. So I want to say thank you once again. And Josh, I would love to have you back on the show in the future.
Oh, thank you, sir. I would love to be back.
All right. Everyone, make sure you do have a great night. You heard it here first on the Big Scoop with Coop. Until next time, people.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
All right. People on Facebook, people on YouTube. Well, YouTube, you didn't go down. Facebook, you did for a second. I do apologize. My connection got weak some type of way, so I'm not sure exactly how that happened. So, guys, I do want to say thank you for tuning in again, right here on Facebook, and of course YouTube. So, thank you again, and make sure you catch the next episode. I will be letting you know when that is. Actually, I'll tell you now. It'll actually be Thursday, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you do check it out, guys. And thank you for tuning in. And until next time, you all have a great night. And people in North Carolina, once again, be safe out there. I can't stress that enough. Be safe. I know the floods are getting people right now. So go get shelter. Do what you have to do. Evacuate. Don't play with this water, guys. So I just want to say thank you again. I apologize for the connection cutting off on you guys. So, and I will get in trouble for keep saying you guys, because someone is hearing me now saying you guys. So everyone, make sure you stay safe, and I will see everyone Thursday, 7 o'clock p.m. Until next time.